Hey guys, I'm Ben Hemming, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of the most iconic electric guitars out there, the guitar behind me, the Fender Telecaster. Now this guitar is more of an entry-level model. This is a Mexican made Tele as opposed to the American version or the custom shop version. I wanted to review this guitar because I think it's a really great way to get into guitar playing with a guitar that isn't too expensive if you're trying it out, or you're a learner or beginner or intermediate. For me, it was a guitar that I wanted to get that had that classic Tele sound, but also I could take it on the road and I wouldn't be afraid to get a few knocks or a few chips, which it actually has. I got a few of those, but I've had it for a while, so I feel like I'm in a good position to give you guys an honest review on its pros and its cons, what it's like as a recording guitar and how it holds up on the road in a live performance environment. The Telecaster is about as stripped back as it gets. It's got no unnecessary extras, just a slab body, bolt-on neck and two pickups. This Mexican-made version keeps that same DNA. You've got an angular body, a maple neck, and that classic bolt-on construction that gives it its snap and attack. The bridge is where a lot of the magic happens. That metal plate gives you that signature Tele twang. It's not a flashy guitar. It's not trying to impress you, it exists to be played. And there's something that I really love about that honesty. Okay, so this is the fun part where I actually get to try out a few of the sounds and textures that this little baby can do, and you guys can maybe get an idea of the versatility of this guitar. So I'm going to start off with a kind of clean tone with some like pretty chords to give you an idea of maybe how this would fit in with something jazz or folk or sort of soft rock. That was with the neck pickup, so I'm going to switch that now to the bridge, and you can give a better idea of how much brighter it sounds. So you can hear how different those two pickups sounds, and if I was to give you guys a bit of a blend of the two, then you would get something like this. So you can tell that the central position, sort of blending the two pickups, gives you a nice balance between brightness and depth. If you want to like obviously go into like a bit of a solo, you can see how you could quickly switch to the bridge, and that would give you a tone that would maybe stand out from the band that you're playing from, especially with a bit of distortion. So we'll go into now sort of checking out how the guitar sounds with a bit more grit and a bit more bluesy rock sound to it. So I've cranked up the gain a little bit, and I've also dropped down to one of my favorite tunings, a drop D. So I'm going to start off with the neck pickup. So as you can hear, that was the neck pickup, which is great for sort of bluesy driving riffs and some solo stuff. I'm now going to switch it to the bridge, and you guys can hear the difference and how much more brighter and gritty that sounds. So yeah, there's quite a big difference there with tone. I actually really like the bridge pickup. That's probably what I use the most. I do occasionally use the neck pickup for kind of a bit more detailed work, but I'm going to do a best of both now and switch between the two and maybe play something a little bit softer that gives you an idea of that kind of sound that I was talking about. So yeah, as you can tell, it's still pretty heavy sounding with a mixture of the two pickups. But again, it's a bit of a best of both worlds. You've got something really bright, and you've also got the depth of the neck pickup. Yeah, and that's pretty much shows you what you can do with the guitar. Obviously, you can play around with different effects, and you can sort of add some reverb and more tones. But these are actually the main tones that I really use on my recordings, and so far they've suited me pretty well in everything that I've wanted to do. So that's where the Telecaster really shines for me, is the versatility of the instrument. It's not flashy, it's not a luxury item, it's a plug and play instrument. The neck is super playable, as is the fretboard, and you have a very versatile palette of sounds. You can go from anything from jazzy to quite bluesy or rock, depending on how you crank the distortion of the amp and what pickup selection you choose. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the pros and cons of this guitar as I see it. Having owned it for quite a few years now, I think I'm in a good position to tell you really how it is in a recording situation and in a live setup. Firstly, the pros. It's a cheap, affordable instrument compared to some of the higher end models, so it's great if you're an entry-level guitarist. It's very versatile, so it fits into rock, blues, country, and jazz. If that's the medium and the genre that you play in, this guitar easily fits into those genres. It's very well made, especially for the price, so there's little that really can go wrong with this guitar because it really is quite simply designed. And for the cons, it can be quite a harsh sounding guitar. It's quite bright, so if it's not amped correctly, you may find that the sound at first is a bit brittle on your ears, but with time and as you learn to sort of dial it in, I don't really see that as too much of an issue. The sort of hardware that it comes with, the stock pickups, are good, but they're not amazing. I never actually upgraded mine, but you can do that quite affordably. But the guitar pickups that I use are the ones that it came with, and like I said, I've recorded many albums with this guitar and I've never had an issue with the pickups. So I guess ultimately it's not like this guitar really hides the mistakes, but I guess that's kind of the point. If you're looking for an instrument that is raw and bluesy and has that unique telly sound, and that is quite unforgiving at times, but I actually love that. It's not as smooth as a Stratocaster, but that's the thing that really sets it apart as an instrument. It has that classic sound. If that's what you're looking for, you can't really go wrong, even with a Mexican telly. So is a Fender Telecaster worth it? This Mexican model in particular? I would say hands down yes. This is a great entry-level guitar, or even if you're intermediate or advanced, I think this is a great choice, not only for the recording studio, but also for live. In fact, live is kind of where it can really thrive, because the price tag means that if you're like an artist who's really growing, then sometimes you do gig in some situations which are far from ideal. And if you were carrying like a 2K guitar with you, you might find that it might get nicked, or it might not, you would be very conscious about that. But with this guitar, you could take it on the road and it could get hammered and it can still stand up to that. I've never seen a point to upgrade it. I've always been very happy with it. So if you're looking for that kind of bluesy rock sound, I suggest you get one of these. And even at a later date and you decide you want to upgrade to an American one, that option is always there, but you'll still have this guitar as a backup guitar at the very worst. And for me, hands down, it's a no-brainer. Hope you've enjoyed that little gear review of the Fender Telecaster. I'll be doing more of these, so do check out my channel, give it a like and give it a subscribe, and also write in the comments what guitar you'd like me to check out next, and I will see you guys next time.